Rachel Zegler is officially in damage control mode.
There's a big focus on her love story with a guy who literally stalks her. Weird. So we didn't do that this time.
After months of passionately defending Disney's live-action Snow White reboot, the internet has flipped the script and it's getting ugly. But this isn't just about mean tweets or a few bad headlines. Entire animation studios, late-night commentators, and viral YouTube creators have now joined forces to make the Snow White remake a punchline. And the worst part? Rachel's at the center of it all. According to recent reports, she's deeply upset and even considering therapy after seeing the backlash unfold across platforms. Because what started as online trolling has evolved into something much more coordinated and savage. Let's break down the 5 biggest roasts that have taken direct or indirect aim at Rachel Zegler and the Snow White disaster. And trust us, the order might surprise you. We're starting with South Park. That's right, if Family Guy fired the first warning shot, South Park launched a full-scale animated attack. In their infamous special episode, Joining the Panderverse, South Park went after Disney's recent creative direction, and Snow White didn't escape the fire. The episode centers around a satirical version of Kathleen Kennedy, the head of Lucasfilm, who possesses a magical artifact called the Panderstone. Her mission: to insert diverse, reimagined characters into every legacy franchise. The show openly mocks the formula, reducing it to a single brutal line: put a chick in it and make her gay.
Is there a problem, people?
We were just discussing ideas of what to do with the new Prince Eric movie.
Put a chick in it, make her gay!
That single quote tore through social media like wildfire. And it wasn't just about Star Wars. With the Snow White remake already catching heat, the connection was obvious. South Park's takedown was about the whole machine, and Rachel, fairly or unfairly, became the face of that machine. Even conservative voices like Ben Shapiro praised the episode, calling it one of the most honest critiques of modern Hollywood. That praise made the roast even more potent, because it wasn't just fans laughing. Political commentators were nodding along. Next up, Beanie Bros. Unlike major studios, Beanie Bros. Is a YouTube animation duo with a huge online following, and they took their shot in a 1-minute parody that racked up over 9 million views in a matter of days. The video portrays a grittier, modern Snow White, the exact style Rachel Zegler once described in interviews. There's no prince, no romance, just a hardened female lead scolding the dwarves and rewriting her destiny. But rather than inspire, it exposed the absurdity of the concept. Fans flooded the comments with lines like, "This isn't a parody, it's literally the movie." The irony? Beanie Bros. Gave Rachel the exact film she said she wanted, and still made it look like a joke. That's next level satire. Now let's talk Family Guy. This legendary animated series has been dragging pop culture for decades, and they didn't hold back when it came to Disney. In one now viral clip, a frozen Walt Disney is revived in a hospital. The doctor leans over and says, "Welcome back, Mr. Disney." Walt replies, "Are they still making Disney remakes?" When the doctor nods, Walt screams, "Put me back in."
Welcome back, Mr. Disney.
Are the Jews gone yet?
No.
Put me back in.
Short, sharp, and brutal. That one-liner destroyed Disney's recent content strategy without even mentioning names. And yes, it came before Snow White was even released, but the sentiment stuck. Another Family Guy gag shows Peter Griffin walking through Disneyland with a roller coaster plummeting in the background. Written under the ride, "Disney stock." It's visual sarcasm at its best. Disney's brand is crashing along with its share price. And then came the real punch. Peter watches TV, sees a beautiful girl, and says, "Wow, she's hot." His friend replies, "That's a boy." It happens again and again until Peter screams, "What is everything?"
What?
That's a guy.
That other guy's handsome.
That's a girl.
That cat is cute.
That's a dog.
What is everything?
It wasn't subtle. It was a direct dig at Hollywood's casting choices and identity politics. Family Guy didn't name Rachel, but the implications were clear. Audiences are confused, fatigued, and no longer buying into what they see as forced narratives. But the most ambitious challenger? The Daily Wire. After Snow White's reception bombed, the Daily Wire announced their own version of the fairy tale, a propaganda-free, true to the original retelling. No politics, no gender swapping, just old school storytelling. The teaser racked up millions of views. People were hungry for something traditional, but soon after, the project hit turbulence. Brett Cooper, who was originally cast to play Snow White, exited the film without a public statement. The project now sits in limbo. Still, the message landed. The very idea of a non-political Snow White got more applause than Disney's actual release. That alone says everything.
People or companies, I have suspended that
that rule, I am loving this bloodbath. I love the misery, I love the suffering, because Disney used to be a wholesome, family-friendly company that made...
And finally, we come to The Simpsons, the giant that hasn't yet struck, but everyone's watching. Unlike the others, The Simpsons is owned by Disney, so if they decide to satirize Snow White directly, it would be Disney mocking itself. That's why fans are watching closely. In recent seasons, The Simpsons has tested boundaries, quietly criticizing Marvel fatigue, soulless reboots, and awkward franchise mergers. A subtle couch gag here, a throwaway line there. But now, with Snow White becoming an industry-wide joke, the question is, will they finally take the gloves off? If they do, it won't be loud. It'll be clever, a side comment, a background billboard, but when it lands, it'll mark the point of no return. If even Disney's most loyal satirists start clowning Snow White, it means the studio has truly lost its cultural credibility. Behind the scenes, things aren't much better. Insiders claim Disney is panicking about the next big remake, Tangled. Early projections show it could cost up to $500 million, making it Disney's most expensive remake ever. And who's rumored to play Rapunzel? Rachel Zegler. Yes, the same face behind Snow White's downfall may be returning for another headline-grabbing casting decision. And if that happens, the backlash could start before the trailer even drops. Analysts estimate Disney has already lost nearly $900 million from recent woke flops, films that critics say focused more on social messaging than storytelling, and even mainstream outlets are starting to agree. Megyn Kelly dedicated a full segment to the fallout, saying, "Disney's problem isn't politics, it's arrogance."
The June Daily Mail reporting on this is looking at an almost $900 million loss right now, following a series of woke flops at the box office. Apparently there's
Charlie Kirk followed up by warning Disney was breaking the trust of families.
Try not to make a habit, Megan, of rejoicing in the suffering of people or companies. I have suspended that rule. I am loving this bloodbath. I love the misery.
The fans aren't mad at diversity, they're mad at lazy writing hidden behind moral posturing. And here's the kicker, Snow White only made $184 million worldwide, on a budget nearing $270 million. That's not just a flop, that's catastrophic. Now, every remake in the pipeline, Lilo and Stitch, Hercules, Tangled, is under the microscope. Investors are nervous, viewers are skeptical, and every time Rachel Zegler trends, it's usually not good news for Disney. So what's next? Will The Simpsons finally fire back? Will Disney double down on its creative direction? Or finally listen to audiences begging for something real again? Because when you've been roasted by Family Guy, nuked by South Park, parodied by YouTubers, rejected by conservatives, and memed into oblivion, maybe it's time to rethink the formula. And here's the truth. Snow White didn't fail because people hate progress. It failed because it didn't feel like a story. It felt like a lecture wrapped in fairy tale aesthetics. It was a message first, magic second. The audiences Disney once captivated, they're not rejecting change. They're rejecting arrogance. So let's recap. South Park dismantled the narrative with 8 savage words. Beanie Bros parodied Zegler's vision and went viral doing it. Family Guy roasted Disney's stock, brand, and identity politics in 3 separate gags. The Daily Wire got more hype with a concept teaser than Disney did with a finished movie. And The Simpsons, they're watching, waiting, and possibly preparing to strike. The takeaway: when your biggest critics are no longer just angry YouTubers, but the very shows that shaped your legacy, something's broken. Now it's your turn. Are these shows being unfair, or are they just saying what millions of viewers have been thinking? Is this just another phase for Disney, or the beginning of a major turning point? Let us know what you think in the comments below. And if you thought this takedown was brutal, wait till you see what's next. No fairy tales, no happy endings, just the facts. See you next time.